Hello and welcome to, of course, another exciting edition of Emerge. I am Ulo, your delightful host. And today with me in my, in my lounge is obviously my mentor, my friend, SMOOTHIK.
Thanks for having me.
And of course, for those that want to act like they do not know you.
They're there.
They're there. You think so?
Yeah.
Alrighty, let's just do due diligence to that. So SMOOTHIK is a media mogul. He's a TV host, a brand ambassador for a lot of renowned organizations, businesses, to name a few, Great North Academy.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
You look good.
Thank you very much. I feel good. You look good too.
Thank you. Thanks. We're twinning. We're in black.
Turns out.
Yeah, but I didn't send them. So I saw a very interesting post. I don't know what page posted a photo of you, and they said forever 16 or.
Oh man, I get a lot of that.
What is it with
interesting
you?
that at times I post something that I feel is inspirational and it will inspire someone out there, and the comments you get is like, forever young. I'm like, guys, can you read what I've posted there? No, but I think everybody has something that people will write about. Like when Chameleon's picture is there, somebody will say something about Chameleon's issues, Ralph Qaeda or whatever, Slab. So I this happens to be what they talk about when they post a pic. Anyway, as long as it's not a bad thing.
I sat in a class that was organized by Mount Zion Christian Center, and we had Lady Norena talk about how that life should be viewed. We individuals should view life. We should view ourselves as brands, and ultimately, we're all gonna die someday. And if we look back, what is that one thing that we want people to say about us? So, what is that one thing for you?
Well, I'd like for people to say that, here lies the guy who tried. You see, mine is that I feel that a lot of people think about stuff that they would like to do, but they just don't start. They don't make that first step, because that's the most difficult. So I think I've achieved quite a lot in my work, for instance. And I think one of the main reasons, the difference maybe with other people that are my peers, is that I tried. And it worked. Sometimes it didn't, many times it didn't, but it didn't stop me from trying. I feel that there are a lot of people that just don't try. Because when you start, you never know. That could be it. But most people end up going to their graves with that dream. Like, I should have started, I should have tried. So I think I'll be happy if people say, well, here's a guy who tried. Yeah.
Interesting. And talking about a guy who tried, I couldn't think of any better person to have this conversation with. And in case you're wondering, today we are going to be talking about what I wish I knew in my 30s. Things to learn, relearn, unlearn. So now, getting to your 30s, if you were to just describe your 30s in one word, what would that be?
I think they were challenging.
Why is that?
I think every 30-year-old's life should start to challenge you. They say that, people say that I'm this way because of my background. And for a lot of people, that's true. Up until you hit 30, I think when you hit 30, you can't say it's your background, because you are the background. The chances are that you have a child, maybe. So what is the child saying if you're saying I'm poor because of my background, for instance? What is your child saying? So now you're the background. So I think that at 30, you have to be taking on challenges head on, because now you don't have an excuse. If you're born of a poor family, that's fine, because you had no control over it. When you're 30, you most likely have left home and most likely are dating or married to someone's daughter. Life has started for you, so the challenge has started. So there's no my background is what I am. You are making yourself now, and other people like your child will be saying, I'm where I am because of my background. Now they're referring to you. So I think the 30s for me, and for most I think, should be challenging. And that's, for me, the challenge is good because now you're out there, now you probably are done with your college, obviously, you're working, now you're looking to get the promotions, you're looking to start thinking outside the box, whether it's business, starting to build your career. So I would say of my 30s that they were challenging.
So for me, while you speak, ideally what stands out is it looks like a time to make cardinal decisions.
True.
And obviously, for a lot of people that look at you as an icon, the first thing that comes to mind are obviously your success stories or your achievements. However, I would like to know, what are some of the bad decisions you made in your 30s?
Well, bad, I think it's a bit heavy. But maybe decisions that kind of regret, they're not really bad.
And
because
like
they
now
didn't
you
really
know better.
affect anybody. For instance, I've always wanted to play football. I played football from very early age for me, in school, secondary school, as primary, secondary, college. I played a lot of soccer, such that when I came to Lusaka from Mongo, I told myself, and everybody in Mongo, I think, believed that I was going to play, and when I came to Lusaka, there was December time, and there were trials at Woodland Stadium. I went there, and I sat in the terraces because the trials that started were a lot of us. Then when it was time, I started just feeling anxious to say, can I manage? When it was time for that game had ended, they said, okay, the rest of you that have come, please come to the pitch.
Yeah.
I sat there with my bag. I couldn't stand up to go and play because I was listening to these guys using Bemba, they're using Nyanja. I'm thinking, I think these are better.
And you were the old one out there.
I felt I was. I don't know, maybe other people were equally from other provinces, but I just felt I'm not Lusaka, so I probably can't play like them. I just defeated myself. And when the guy came and said, hey, you haven't come for the game, you with a bag, because I had a bag, a kit. I said, no, it's for the other guy. He's
no way.
Stepped out. And I sat there. And when they started, I left. And that was it. I never did have trials. I regret that, obviously, because I'm thinking, Lusaka is just buildings. There's just people here, who have come from wherever. So it doesn't really matter where you're from. And that's what I would tell myself if at all I had the opportunity to tell me. Yeah. I wish somebody had told me, but you're from Mongo. Yeah, ask everybody here where they're from. They're from somewhere. They're just here in Lusaka. Lusaka is just a place. If the government decides the capital city of Zambia now is Mongo, then everybody will be taken to Mongo. So what's special about Mongo? Yeah. Nothing. It's the same as Lusaka. It's just buildings that are there. And the language is just a language. People speak Bemba and Nyanja. You don't expect them to speak Lozi. This is not the Western province. So all that for me was what defeated me. I felt they were better because they spoke in a language that I couldn't speak very well. They looked confident, but now I know better. Everybody's scared. Everybody's scared. But we just start.
We just start really, and it's so funny because I remember when I was starting out with Emerge, and I had you over for the Facebook live stream because now it's reloaded. You spoke about procrastination, and you said, look, the thing you're worrying about, the next person does not even care, and you will regret to actually find that while you are wasting time, life goes on. They're gonna enroll the next great footballer, and who knows? It could have been you. Yeah. Now, talking about just that sounds like a whole lot of identity issues and finding yourself, which obviously does not happen overnight.
Yeah.
How did you then come to a place of finding self? And soccer is just one aspect of it. Now you're in the media industry, which is literally the mother body of different facets of businesses. How did you build yourself from the not so confident IK to the smooth?
Well, even the smooth IK, even up to now, still gets scared of certain things that I want to venture in. Like now I'm very much business minded. I really want to do business. I never felt it was my forte. For a long time I felt mine is sports and entertainment, and that's it. But I think that God made us to do anything that we put our minds to. And even now there's still growth. I can talk to myself a year ago, because I'm different today.
Oh wow, I like that, because it's not about the whole milestone. It's 20s and then 30s, and it has to be a continuous thing.
So we grow every day. For instance, I've got small little things I do now. Like I can tell myself, I give myself 5 seconds to do something.
What's that?
Yeah, let's say I see somebody who I think could help me in, let's say, a business venture. And obviously, because like I said, it's not my realm, so I'm a bit scared to approach them. I tell myself, I'll count 5 seconds and I'll step. That doesn't give you time to think. Firstly, because I've already thought about it, I want to approach that man. The more I think about it, the more difficult it will become. Because then I'll start to say, what if he says, oh, that's a terrible idea? What if he says, excuse me, young man, I'm still talking to people? What if? Yeah. So I'll just do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I start walking. And I'll approach it.
Wow.
And I don't give myself room. And for me, the 5 seconds rule has really worked. I've done a lot of things. And this is, at times, the small things, I've just made it a habit.
Could you tell me one?
Yeah, my DG, I need to see my DG for something. I'm like, how can I see him now? Okay, 5 seconds. 5, 2, 3, 4, 1. DG, there's this, and I do it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you don't lose anything, and also I've learned that, you don't, sometimes we think, let's say, even taking an exam, at times we kick ourselves because we failed. Failure is part of the process of growing. It's one of those things. You have to fail to win, and at times when you failed, don't be too hard on yourself, because you haven't gotten the degree, yes, but did you have the degree in the first place? No. So actually, nothing has changed about you. You're still the same. So you can try again. It's not like when you fail to do something, you go backwards. You don't. You just remain. So, no biggie.
I really
You're still you.
I absolutely like that, because the 30s also, and well, not literally limiting it to the 30s, but much younger ages, seem like a space where a lot of pressure is put on self, and some of it comes from obviously our society. It's like there's standards of, at 30 you need to be driving, at 30 you need to own a house, or you need to be running a successful business, and the list goes on and on and on. However, one that is pretty common for the Zambian demographic, or probably Africa, is you need to be married by 30. Would you say you particularly made the right decision marrying earlier, or is it just really a fuss?
Well, in my case, I married pretty early, but
How old were you when you married?
I wasn't 30. I was actually 28.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I was just about 30.
A huge shout.
Yeah. But also, I think it's about who you're marrying. I got married to a friend. I mean, we're high school sweethearts, so it was easy. But either way, I still don't think that marriage should be attached to age. Maybe, and sometimes for our women folk, it could be that because of the baby situation, and there's that biological clock that can come into play. In as much as you don't need to be married just because of the clock, because there are a lot of children out there that need people to take care
like
of
that.
them, you know. But there's a story that was trending about this young boy that was being, I had at work, mothers were talking, by mothers I mean workmates, but their mothers, they were saying, you know what, I wish I could just get this boy and just keep him. So there are people, you can get the child and keep the child. And God is not going to say you didn't do your job on earth, you know what I'm saying? Because if the right person didn't come, they didn't come. But anyway, so getting married at 30 shouldn't be an issue, you know, but just that, do everything at the right time. If it's time to date, just know the rules. If it's time to start work. If it's time to, you know, to have a child, have a child. At times the issue is that we miss those times and then we are rushed to make rash decisions in the end. That's what makes it bad in the end. So, oh, you married and then this happened because the marriage was terrible.
Needed
but
to
because
marry for the
of
age.
society, because we're so much shaped by society, our looks. I've got rickets, and I used to have a big problem with that in school because people would look at me and say, you know, in laws they'll say, "Mango boy."
Oh, you do?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, and that was a big deal for me because, and it's like a child who was slightly overweight, a child who was very skinny. Everything, people have something to say about it, and that's one thing I would tell myself to say: don't bother with people. They always have something to say. No. Whatever you do, if you are very rich, this must be witchcraft. If you're very poor, you don't think. If you're middle, they'll compare to the next guy and say, you should have been like this one. There's always comparison. But I think you need to compare with you. As long as you're better than yourself yesterday or last year, then you are moving forward. It's never about the other person. You never know how they're getting what they're getting. And if you follow, whether it's your brother, your sister, your uncle, your friend, if you fall, you might fall in the pit because you don't know how they're getting that put together. Just do you, but most of the times we're racing with other people instead of racing with ourselves.
You know, the 30s are a very hectic,
extremely.
very, very hectic time. And this is not, you know, us trying to say it's okay, get reluctant, do not push or do not go hard on achieving a couple of things. However, I know, Innocent, that you've spoken about just taking your time or allowing things to play out. But there is stuff that need to get done at a particular season in one's life. So what are those few things you would say, look, in your 30s, these things are a must do or a must have?
Ideally, in your 30s, you must, well, maybe not be done with education because people say you never get done with education. But if sometimes you can just have you can decide, this is what I want to do. I want to have a diploma, I want to have a degree. You know, it's not always about the paper. You know, it's interesting about the paper because you have the paper, you get the job. Yeah. And sometimes I don't remember the last time I saw my degree when I was getting the job.
What did you study? Marketing, right?
I did marketing, then I did journalism and communication. But I don't. What I mean is that that paper only applies when you're applying for the job. Then after that, it's put away. No one cares. You have to know the job. That's it. Whether you've got the papers or not, know the job. I worked with people with degrees, you know, masters even. That's what they have. Other than that, you know, they're not as good as a guy who even has a diploma. So really, I think for instance, education is overrated as far as I'm concerned. You know, there's nothing wrong with being educated, but our friends, other countries that are more developed are not really about education per se. They're about tertiary. You know, they like for instance in Zambia, in Mongo, for instance, we have a lot of rice. You know, that's what we can produce there because of the plains. I think one of the schools should be teaching that, how to grow rice, how to package it, how to clean it, that's what we should be learning. Because that's where the money is, as opposed to the degree that you have, you know.
I saw it was a little provocative. It was a collage of, you know, images where they showed kids in the West those look like Korean or
Yeah,
Chinese
yeah.
kids.
They were making desks or something. Making.
Yeah, they were almost like in the lab, and they were
Yes.
creating,
Yes.
and they were productive. And then they showed our
African,
kids,
sitting
and
in class.
they were praying. Literally, they
Oh,
were
they were praying even. Yeah.
they were like that. But this is just me agreeing with us investing in things that are more practical and could help us get to the next phase. And getting to the next phase, what are some of the habits that were more healthy for you in your 30s that you've carried over to your 40s?
Well, for me, I think I've been very. The one thing I'm proud of myself of is that I'm very consistent. When I started.
For sure.
when I start, and it's not just, and most people know maybe of my productions that I do, and that's where the consistency is. But generally, as a person, I am very consistent. I can stick to a regime, and I say, this is what I want to do. I'll push that agenda till the end. I make it part of me, so then in the end, I do it effortlessly. So that has been my life. When I decide that I'm going to do something, I do it. And I think it's also the issue of starting. I will start, and as long as and I'm going to make mistakes, I'll find out this should have been this way, but I'll just keep improving myself. I don't believe in stopping, and well, there's nothing wrong with stopping. Once in a while, watch the grass grow. Just get a breather.
Yeah.
But what I don't believe in is to because it went wrong, then you stop. It always goes wrong. If I'm going to stop, I'm going to say, this doesn't work this way, let me try this way. But if it's my dream, I'm going to pursue it. So I think I've been very happy because I've gotten a paycheck, and I'm happy now where I am because now I'm getting a paycheck even for just being me, because I can say something about somebody's product and they'll feel, oh, this is the right guy to say it because he's believable, but also because of the consistency over the years. But so for me, it really is about what I've the consistency that I've had in things that I believe in, and how I've made mistakes, and I've said, you know what, there's no one who doesn't make a mistake. Yes, it's a mistake, but how do we improve on it? So for me, I fall forward.
You fall forward.
Yeah.
I really like that. And you spoke about something that is a hot, boiling conversation around your 30s, which was paycheck. What was your relationship like with money in your 30s in probably under a minute?
Well, like anybody else, man, in my 30s, we're buying clothes, going out,
looking fresh. But you don't drink. Where were you going?
No. I don't. Yeah. So in that respect, I think there's always advice. Mine I think has always been clothes.
Yes.
I'm the go-to guy, even in my family. I'm the kind who has a lot of clothes, and now I'm happy. I like that habit of mine because I'm the guy that I might not give you the money, but I'll give you something, clothes, whatever. Because I've had a lot of that, and over the years I've had a bit of a sense of style because of maybe that's been my interest. So yeah, I think in my 30s I spent a lot of money on me, but as you grow now, you got a family, so now you start to pick and choose. But also when you're in a career that I am in, again, you're lucky enough to be given certain things. So I don't need to buy all my suits. I don't need to buy all. So that habit is still there, but it's being nurtured by somebody else. But I think that was one of my weaknesses. I loved to dress up well, and I love gadgets. Yeah. At times I just buy, and I don't even know how to use it. I haven't used it in a while, but I have it.
I absolutely like this. So please open that box. There's a couple of balloons in there.
Balloons?
In 30 seconds. How many balloons?
I never did this balloon thing.
How many balloons are you able to blow in 30 seconds?
One.
I like the transparency, but let's see if you actually be successful. Let's have the timer rolling. Yeah.
What the timer is rolling?
We will be alerted. Once the timer is like, you've got to go. We want to see those pouting moves. And go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Blow it to its
to its maximum.
Okay, it's okay.
Do I know what
Let's see some more. Let's see some more.
Hold on to this because it's done. Just make sure it doesn't.
Are we
Done.
over? Done. 3.
Well, I did say 1, so I've beaten myself. You see, I was smart enough to know that I'll probably have 2, but let me say 1 so I can look good. So now I look very good. 1.5 actually.
Oh my gosh.
2.5.
Listen, this is the most hilarious moment I've had with you. Thank you so much for joining today's conversation. And obviously, do let me know in the comment section which part of today's conversation did stand out for you. And like I always say, if there is anything that you want to do, if it stands right and serves a purpose, then go do it.